I'm Travis and this is Banack Industries. Alright, well, definitely the belt on that. Clutch cover has no damage. But look at that. What a disaster. It's all caught up in the sheaves. This is the fun part about belts. You just wind. Okay, that's better. Oh, let's twist it under there. More belt. Oh, she's in the back of the secondary. That's not good.
Can you just cut it?
Kind of. Help if I could see what it was. Where it was. How it's caught. Isn't that good? So far this is where we're at. And of course, this all kind of just fell out once we got the clutch cover off. Now this belt, you can see, it got extremely hot, delaminated from the cords, and that's just from heat. This was not like a bad belt from Can-am, by no means. This belt's been on here for over a year and it's had a lot of hard miles on it. Of course, if you hadn't seen our last video where we were out at Area 91, that round 2, there was a lot of wide open throttle, a lot of heat got into this belt. So I'm not really surprised that the belt blew. Yes, it does suck, but it's not Can-am's fault. It's just we don't keep up on maintenance quite as well as we should, because who really wants to replace a belt, even though, like, if your belt's working, you don't want to spend another $200 some on a belt from Can-am to replace it, even though it's good. But so now what I'm doing is behind the secondary we have a rat's nest of these cords, and it's kind of a pain to get these out. Of course, easiest would probably be, you know, take your secondary off. I don't quite know how easy it is on these to take this secondary off, so I don't want to do that. So we'll just try and work at it, pulling these cords back and forth, and eventually they'll all untwist and come free. But so I got to do this here, get all these cords out, and then once I do that, we'll show you guys how to get the new belt on. So I ended up having to pull our secondary off here. As you can see, we just have this threaded rod. Of course, that's your kind of a helical for your secondary, and it works on the back side here. You have your spring. Now of course it was just all bound up. We had all these cords, they were kind of caught right in here, so I wasn't able to pull those off, but there we go. There's our belt. It's no good, obviously. So now we'll just give these, we'll put this all back on. I have to go figure out the torque spec for it, and of course it was just held on by this washer and nut, and that just torques it in. And then there's a backup nut, that's a second one, and it kind of holds it on just as a safety. So I'm going to go ahead, throw these all back on. I got to go find the torque specs, so we'll get that off Can-Am's website, and then we'll throw a new belt on. So putting this back together, try to give you guys the best view you can. We're going to take a little bit of red Loctite. Just going to put that on here. I'm doing that because I can see red Loctite that was on there. Then we'll take our secondary. There's this little notch on the spring. We'll line that up with the hole here. Kind of got to get this in. Good. There, it's into its little hole. Now, this part's going to be a little fun. Line it up. Overcome the spring. For this, use some leverage. Now, we got that all kind of back together. So there we go. Our clutch is back on. We know that we're kind of in the right part of the helical that's built into the back side, because we have that thread showing. So got to torque this up, put our retainer nut on, and we're good to go. Alright, so Can-Am's saying torque to 15 pounds. So that's what we're going to do here with our 3/8 torque wrench. So there's 15 pounds. Now they say we have to make a full half a turn. And this is a torque to yield. So what we're going to do, blue paint pen. We're going to mark one flat. We're going to mark on our clutch cover here, or this washer. I'm going to get, and I got to rotate half a turn on this bolt. So we'll do that. To make my life easier, we'll take and we'll mark on our socket as well. Then we know where we are. I'm going to need a little bit of a helper here. How are we going to do that? Here, do you want to just come hold that there? Yeah, just going through there. If you can, just kind of hold that. Where are we? Almost there. So now, just look. We gotta go a little more. That's a lot. And there we go. Oh, I'll go here more. So there we go. As you can see, original flat where we started, marked. And if we look on the bottom side, you can kind of see that blue there. I'll just light it up. Flashlight. As you can see there, the blue one there. So there's 180 degrees rotation. Now we'll just set you up and put the belt on. So now to get your new belt on, what you want to do is get yourself a 8mm metric bolt, about 4 inches long or 96 millimeters. Round off the top, kind of like that, so we don't damage the threads, because this will be using to open up our clutch. One of these 3 holes is threaded, so you'll thread your bolt in. I just use my little 1/4 inch impact. And as we thread it, it opens up the sheaves on the secondary clutch, as you can see there. And now when we go to put the new belt in, we have lots of room. It'll sink in. It'll go around the primary. Now you have this belt has rotation on it, so you want to make sure you get this right. You can see there's arrows on this primary saying it rotates clockwise, so you want to have those rotation arrows go in the same direction. We'll get this in. See, we have to open that up a little bit more. So we got kind of stretch our belt a little bit. Maybe I gotta go around that first on this one. Oh yeah, there we go. So around the primary first, and then to your secondary. Then you'll want to hold your primary or your secondary out. You'll want to kind of work your belt in a way put it in neutral. Now we can rotate our clutch. That's sitting in there nice and deep. Now when you look at your belt, you should be able to see kind of where the bottom of these ribs are. That's where you want the top of your secondary sitting. And we're right there. So, belt in. Now we just got to go ahead. I'll put this retainer nut on. Give that a good tighten. Throw the cover on. We're done. So there you have it. We got our belt changed. Now of course I'm going to note down what kilometers I'm at now, just so I can see how this new belt lasts. Actually, we'll do that right now. So let this turn on. So 1459 kilometers. So now we know that's when the new belt's going in. So we'll see how long this belt lasts. Now, of course, I got to do a little bit of a break-in period, about 50K of taking it easy. I'm going to ride around the house here, get out onto the road, get out onto some gravel. Just take it nice and easy. You know, let this belt have a couple heat cycles, get it really warm before we, you know, take it out and actually shred this squad again. But if you haven't yet, head on over to shop Banack Industries. Of course, that's where we have our Banack Industries merchandise. We have shirts, hats, hoodies, jet tags, all kinds of other stuff, bunch of stickers, a couple free downloads of some pictures that you can get for free on the website, and that's just shop Banack Industries. Once again, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. Of course, our subscribers, you guys help us out a ton. That's what keeps these videos coming. So if you're new, make sure head down, subscribe, tag your buddies, make sure to share this video, get them watching. The more people I have watching these videos, the more rad stuff we can do. Upcoming videos with this quad, of course, I gotta figure something out for the rear box. Just to organize my stuff. I did have a dry bag in there. That's not working so well. And then I'm looking at building some running boards for this quad. So comment below if you want to see running boards and what else you want to see done to this quad. Till then, keep it real.